Hi, sweet friends. Shannon and Pearl here, as you can see. So I just wanted to pop on and offer you an update. I've continued to be absolutely my heart is just full of your beautiful messages and your DMs and your emails and your texts and comments and ideas and insights as we continue to search for Bruce. I've been so privileged to receive so much support from the animal communicator communities that I belong to, and suggestions pouring in from my fellow communicators and intuitives, offering ideas for where to search, how to search. And one particularly beautiful idea that was offered through, I honestly don't even remember where it came from, but I was doing my morning meditation and started visualizing this golden cord of light and positive energy. You could call it Reiki energy if you are familiar with Reiki, but it's just unconditionally loving energy, and visualizing a golden cord or line of light from my heart to Bruce's heart, and just slowly just lighting his path back home. I'm just visualizing this beautiful, I can't even find the words. In my heart's eye, if you can visualize along with me, just a golden cord of light, just helping him feel supported and loved and welcomed back home. Finding his place within our little flock has been an ongoing challenge for him. He has had some issues with not being as comfortable being transported, being inside the home, being handled by people that are not me, and just hasn't been able to be a fully participating member of our little flock and going on all of our adventures with us for this reason. And I'll be honest with you, I've always been conflicted about providing him with a safe and life and a loving life in family, but also in a captive setting, versus offering his full freedom with the dangers of the wild and the known perils of the box turtles. Affinity for their birth site, and just without going into all of the specifics and the complications of that, and the meeting of science, practical science and quantitative research with the intuitive science and the qualitative intuitive information. Just feeling like, in a perfect world, Bruce would have a safe, wild space that provides for all of his needs. I mean, in a perfect world, wouldn't we all? And there wouldn't be such a thing as captivity versus freedom, and there wouldn't be the need to try to reconcile the modern technology with the innocent wild that we face today. And Bruce is caught right in the middle of that, more so than almost all of us. I mean, Pearl, Multi, Flash Gordon, and myself, we are all products of the so-called modern world that we live in. Bruce was likely born wild, was removed from his birth site, was transported away from his birth location. He has a very strong site affinity to his birthplace. All three-toed box turtles do. And his instinct is to get out, wander, and look for home. Even if home is under a pile of concrete or a shopping mall, he can't turn those instincts off. And he has a very strong drive to seek his home, his geolocation home, as well as to seek a heart home with others of his kind and with those who love him. Bruce also has a great love for humanity, which sometimes boggles my mind, but he really sees himself as an ambassador for his kind, for his species. The most silent and in many ways the most endangered, the most vulnerable, the most threatened beings on our planet today are the ones who wear shells. And so Bruce really has been carrying all of that conflict on behalf of our planet and our world, and he's feeling very divided. I've always felt very divided, but the truth is that I really want to try to get as close as I can to providing him with a naturalized life that allows him quality of life as well as quantity, because our non-human animal loves and our friends, yeah, right, Pearl, they're not concerned about quantity of life. They seek quality of life. One day of quality is worth 100 days of low quality quantity of life, if that makes any sense at all. And unfortunately, these days, I don't find that I make a lot of sense most of the time. Oh my goodness, there's so much going on. There's so many changes. My heart is broken in a million places. We laid my dad to rest on Friday. His birthday was yesterday, so I did post some sweet photos yesterday of my mom and I and Flash Gordon, and Pearl and Malty and I got together to celebrate and to watch one of his favorite movies by one of his favorite actors, Pale Rider with Clint Eastwood. Oh my goodness, talk about, okay, don't get me started, I'll go on a tangent. I love Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood, if you're watching, I love you. But just all that to say, my inspiration, if you're hanging with me in this video, in this message, is to ask each of you and all of you together to come together and visualize this golden cord of love and light from my heart and from the heart of our community and our tribe, and stretching all the way to Bruce's heart and leading him back home and encouraging him back home and loving him back home, because I can't do this by myself. There's too much at stake for him. There's too much potential for loss. He's giving up his wild, if very dangerous, but he's giving up his wild life to come back to us. And the only reason he would do that is for love and to have a voice for his kind and to be an ambassador for his species and to continue to inspire all of us to save the shells, to care more and more and more deeply, to put ourselves at risk, to care for those who have literally no voice in this noisy modern world and who really have been impacted to the point where it's almost even impossible for them to truly care for themselves and for their young, and to find the protection and the wild spaces that they need to survive and thrive. And so all that to say, please join me. If you feel so moved, please join me visualizing this golden cord of beautiful light love stretching from our hearts, from my heart, from our hearts as a community, as a tribe, out to Bruce, and just to ask him please to come home. because I don't think he will. If he doesn't feel that so strongly, if he doesn't really understand that he has such a voice through us, he has such an impact through us, he can make such a difference through us. And I think over the past several months, especially over the last few months, as I've been helping my mom care for my dad, I've been I've been an absentee rescue mommy. I haven't had time to spend with him. I think he's lost his place in our tribe, and I know I've given him every apology. I've given him every assurance that things will be different. I've given him, but I wobble, I know I can't compete with the wild, and I'm just going to do my best. I can't compete with what he deserves, and what he should be having. And he can't find all of that, but right now he's out there and he's seeking what he can find of it, to achieve a little balance in his life. And so I understand this may be way out there for some of you who are watching. It may be too out there for some of you. I completely and utterly understand. And for that, I ask for your patience and your openness to just be with us in whatever way feels right. And for those of you who want to join us in visualizing this golden cord of love light, you have my eternal gratitude, and you have our little flock's whole heart. And I just want to say that I love you. I know I haven't been I love you. Let's just leave it at that. It looks like we may have another little storm rolling in here. I'm gonna print up some more flyers and do my rescue mommy thing, and care for Malty and Pearl today, and learning some new technologies. I'm learning about EFT and scalar wave and pendulum tracking and all kinds of good stuff that I hope will help not just Bruce, but many other pet parents and rescue parents and their beautiful loves of all species. But for now, this is what's on my heart, and I want to let you know that we're very grateful for you, and we feel your presence in our lives, and we feel your love and your prayers. And I'm gonna just cut myself off now before I talk for an hour, because I just don't have the words. So sending you all of our blessings and prayers and our love. Yeah, and here's up close of the feathered one who doesn't look exhausted and stressed out, right? You just look perfect and precious, right? And he says, I look perfect and precious, Mom. And I love your necklace. My mom and I now have these matching necklaces. One of my dear friends, Aaron Peat Fire Jewelry, I clipped a little lock of my dad's hair while he was in hospice, and my beautiful, brilliant, talented friend Erin created these necklaces. My mom has one and I have one, and there's a little lock of his hair inside of it. And it was a vision that I kept having while Dad was in hospice, and of these little curved necklaces. And so after he passed, I asked Erin to design them for us, and I just want to show you. They're just absolutely beautiful with little crimped beads at the end, gold, and then a silver chain. So they go with anything, right? But especially silver goes so well with gray and white. And somebody is finding this necklace to be very crispy and wonderful, aren't you? Are you finding it to be very crispy and wonderful, aren't you? He says, I sure am. Okay. On that happy note, mwah. Thank you for being you and for being a part of our lives. Okay, bye for now.